Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Bol, Hare Krishna. Welcome to everybody to this session. Although, I think you mentioned with a short notice, I have just finished about 3 lectures today already. Today is celebration of Janmashtami here in Tamil Nadu, and we are online full day. I have made many house visits on Zoom and completed about 3 to 4 lectures and talks and whatnot. Tomorrow is our real celebration, but I said I'll go ahead with it because today is non-fast celebration, Janmashtami today for us. But tomorrow is like a fasting day, so sometimes I become more weak. But however, I'm here by Krishna's arrangement. I am here by Daiva arrangement. Purushakara and Daiva. Purushakara means our own arrangements granted by the Lord. Daiva means he takes the lead and arranges it. So sometimes when we have certain things, I see that this is Krishna's arrangement. So I am here to serve all of you in whatever capacity I can. Balavanta Prabhu called me up and he asked me to speak on preparing the heart for Janmashtami, which I think is a very huge topic, more huge than Janmashtami topic itself. But however, we shall try to touch upon it according to my capacity. Like the Chaitanya Charitamrita says, you know, as much as we can fly. Birds fly in the sky a little bit. In the expansive sky, they don't cover the whole sky. They can fly a little bit. So, yes, it's a wonderful topic. And it brings into focus all the preparations that were actually done. Also for the appearance of Krishna. Similar preparations have to be done by us every year to prepare for Janmashtami. If we are very serious about Janmashtami, actually. So what does that mean? It'll be interesting for us to, within the time that we have, just look into it. If you look into it, any great personality has to be received in your house. Sometimes I also, a very minuscule, tiny person of no consequence really, but I go to sometimes people's houses to give a program or they're waiting to receive. Then there is a welcome and there is singing and kirtan and flowers thrown around, feet washing and, you know, glorifying and make you feel really great. And, you know, sometime back this morning, I was telling them about how the Prime Minister of India, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, came to inaugurate here the Coimbatore temple in 2001. He was a prime minister and somehow I got him to come through some connections. He came all the way, did a few programs, and he came, one of the programs was ours. And 3 months before the Prime Minister came, the police had already taken possession of our place. They had put policemen everywhere and they were watching everybody and noting down. And every week they changed the lot of policemen also. They took the records, changed the policemen, changed the police. Somebody was operating from Delhi but not coming here, but watching everything. And they changed the lot of policemen from Chennai, from Bangalore, from here, different places every week, one set of policemen. And towards the end, in the last week, and the last few days, policemen from Delhi landed up. They were a special group. Then on the last day, SPG, Special Protection Group, came. They were the direct bodyguards and everybody immediately behind them. After them was a Special Protection Group. In this way, for a whole 3 months, we were asked to clear all the trees and bushes. We were asked to put this fence up, put that up, do this, do that. I made a rehearsal. They gave me 18 minutes. Of course, the Prime Minister said, I want to stay for more time. And he just sat down and looked at Jagannath and heard Kirtan for another 10 minutes. He went ahead and stayed for 32 minutes, actually. He liked the place. They said, you have 18 minutes. Give me a minute-to-minute program, what you will do. First minute where he'll be, second minute where he'll be, third minute what you will do, fourth minute. So we made a minute program. And he said, rehearse it with all your people. So we did the rehearsal. And then the local policemen also came and everybody came and they saw me drawing on the board and telling the devotees the whole map and everything. And the policemen appreciated very much. What a Swamiji, you are so wonderfully, you have drawn a map. And he called other policemen and said, show it. So many things happened for the Prime Minister to come. Amazing things. So much so that they said, finally, we want to go into the altar and check under the deity's clothes. The SPG said. Then my Pujari said, forget it. We don't want Prime Minister. You can go. I'm not interested. So irritated we became. So for the Prime Minister of India, 3 months of torture we went through. I shouldn't say torture. I mean, he did a good service to the Lord. But imagine if the Supreme Personality of Godhead is coming. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajate mam bhuta bhava samandita. I am the source of everything material. I am the source of everything spiritual. Mattaha paradaram na anyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mayi sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva. I am the necklace, pearls, holding everything together. There is no truth above me. I am the foundation. Janmadyasya yataha. The foundation of everything. Everything. Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti. Everything comes from him. Everything goes back into him. He alone exists. Aham evasam evagre. Krishna is telling to Brahma. So that person is coming. What a massive arrangement should be done, right? Both internally for us and externally. Externally, at that time, Krishna appeared on July 13th, Thursday, 3230 BC, as per historians and everything. I'm just coding it for you. July 13th, Thursday, 3230 before the birth of Christ. 3,230 years before the birth of Christ. He appeared on a Thursday and he performed his Leelas. 11 and a half years he was in Vraja, in Vrindavan. Then he was taken by Akrura to Mathura, much against the desires of the Gopis and Vrindavan Vasis. In Mathura, he was there for 10 and a half years, which means that by the time he left Mathura to Dwaraka, he was actually, how many years? 10 and a half plus 11 and a half is 22 years, something like that. He went to Dwaraka. In Dwaraka, he was there for 105 years, 3 months. Totally 127 years, 3 months. Krishna showed his Leela in this world. When Krishna spoke the Bhagavad-gita, he was 89 years old. This is also listed. This is just for out of interest for all of you. Dates, because our mind is always interested in numbers and dates and dates. So he appeared. So before he appeared, he himself made some very key arrangements he himself did. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam that he told when all the demigods went, Bhumi went and prayed to Brahma, and then Brahma, he said, I don't know what I should do. Come, let's all go together. And all the demigods together went to the ocean of milk on the bank in Sahasra Sirsha, Purusha, Sahasrakshas, Sahasrabhat, Sabhumin, Vishpato, Vritva, Atyatishtat Shanghulam, Purusha Vedagam Sarvam, Yad Bhutam. Like that, they would chant the song. And then Brahma communicated wireless. He did not come and speak to everybody. And Brahma communicated with Kshirodakashayi Vishnu. And from there, Vishnu also mentioned, yes, I've already heard about the situation in your universe, in your world. I will be coming very soon. Purusha Param, it is mentioned. He did not say, I will come. Parama Purusha will come. It's very interesting that I am Purusha, but above me, Param Purusha will come. That was the real indication mentioned, if you look into the... So he told, I'll be coming, but I want to tell all of you demigods to also incarnate before I come and fill up. You know, the Yadavas, the Vrishnis, all of them were actually demigods. Even in Vrindavan, they appeared, it's mentioned. So all over the place, he said, you come, and then I am telling Yogamaya, I give an instruction to my internal energy, Yogamaya, that you must prepare before my coming. The Yogamaya's internal energy of the Lord. And she was also told, you must prepare the womb of Devaki to be prepared for my appearance. And Balaram will come, and then he will be taken away from the womb of Devaki to Rohini's womb. And then I will appear. Before Balaram, the Shatgarbhas appeared. So in this way, there was a huge preparation. One was little instruction Krishna gave to Yogamaya and said, you do like this way. Parashaya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shuyate Swabhavika Jnana Bhalakriyacha. The different energies of the Lord operate by themselves. All the Lord has to do is to desire, this should happen like this, I want to come. And automatically everything starts working. Everybody starts, all the agencies start working. So all these things happen, preparations, before Krishna appeared. He appeared in the heart of Vasudeva. It's mentioned. Two types of Leelas took place, one in Vrindavan, one in Mathura. Krishna appeared. You know, Krishna can simultaneously appear. He can do so many amazing things. You can't condition anything to our type of thinking. So it's mentioned Krishna appeared in the heart of Vasudeva because his heart was so pure that he appeared in the heart of Vasudeva. Then from the heart of Vasudeva, he went into the heart of Devaki because the heart of Devaki was so pure, completely pure, waiting to hold Krishna. And there from the heart of Devaki, it says he appeared. Although she was a Garbhini, pregnant lady, all the Devas came and offered prayers, knowing fully well that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Samam Bonam, the origin, the base, the foundation of everything is there in Devaki's womb. They came and offered prayers. Then the Lord appeared in his four-handed form. So all these preparations took place and the Lord appeared. From the heart of Devaki, it's mentioned he appeared, right? So she did not have to go through all the running into this thing and decide whether it's a C-section or not, and all these things in the hospital make decision. None of these things. The Supreme Personality of God had appeared. He appeared just like that. And he gave his darshan to Devaki, and then he was shifted. Then you know the story, he was shifted by Vasudeva to, to Nanda Maharaj's place. Nanda Maharaj's place also is mentioned, they performed austerities, and finally Krishna appeared in Vrindavan. And he appeared from Vrindavan to Devaki. He gave his blessings and looks, and then he went back to Vrindavan. That's how it's mentioned. In the Hari Vamsha, Prabhupada quotes in the Bhagavatam, it's mentioned that Krishna never goes outside of Vrindavan. Vrindavanam parityajya ekapadam naganchati. He doesn't take one step out of Vrindavan. He was born to Yashoda in Vrindavan. There were twins born. There was Krishna and Yogamaya together appeared. Yogamaya is considered the sister of Krishna, and she manifested her Mahamaya feature when Kamsa lifted the child to kill the 8th child, and she disappeared and telling Kamsa what's going to happen to him. So twin sister appeared to Krishna. So we have just this whole story in front of us, the sequence of events. So many things happened. Yeah. It's not just one or two things happen.
It's not just one or two things.
So we want to know exactly what it means to prepare the heart for Krishna's arrival. What all things happened, right from Kamsa taking hold of Devaki's hair, pulling out his sword because he heard this voice from the sky. It was actually the demigods wanting to accelerate everything. Kamsa is too good. He's going the wrong route. He's trying to be very nice and taking his sister very nicely, and he's being too good. He's got to be Asura. Then only Krishna can appear. So they accelerated his Asuric tendency. He fell into that trap also. They just came in the sky and said, "Oh, they ate the child of this lady you're driving is going to kill you." Wow. And then they disappeared, and that little idea put inside Kamsa's head was enough. Demigods were very intelligent. This fellow is an Asura. All you need to do is to intercept and put an idea into his head. Then the wheel will rotate faster. There'll be greater momentum. So they just stood somewhere and influenced Kamsa, right? Influence is so powerful. Influence is so powerful to do more sinful activities. And then Narada also came and gave that momentum some more push, because he did this as soon as he heard this, he wanted that. And then, of course, Vasudev, went and pleaded, and it's very highly diplomatic talk again to this useless, unintelligent Asura. Vasudev also expressed his intelligence so powerfully. Very intelligently, he spoke to Kamsa, and he made him change his decision against what the demigods had pushed. He made them change the decision. And he said that let's compromise. It's the children you're worried about. It's not Devaki. I'll give you all the children and you don't have to worry. And so he believed Vasudev, and everything was quietened down. Again, Narada said, what has happened? You guys, what are you doing, demigods? You've not done the job properly. We did what we could do, they said. Then he said, I'm going to meet him. So he went and met Kamsa. Kamsa and Narada were very good friends. Actually, Narada is good friends with everybody, with Hiranyakashipu, with Ravana, with Kamsa, with, all of them. You see, like the Goswami Ashtakam, you will see that both friends and enemies and everybody, they were good too. So he was very good. And then Kamsa welcomed him, it seems. He went out of his palace running and welcomed Narada. And he brought him inside, washed his feet, took his blessings and everything. It's amazing that these Asuras do so much devotional service, but the heart never changes. But he was still thinking, I will kill Krishna, I will kill Krishna, I will kill Krishna. And Narada also knew this idiot will never change, because he's an Asura. Asuras tat viparyaya. They will always think opposite. So he didn't say anything much, but he came to accelerate it. He told that on my way from Devaloka down here, I saw a huge meeting of the Devas. They're all gathering together, and there is going to be a great plan to finish you and all your clan of people. Vishnu himself is coming to finish you, and they're all going to come and kill everybody else. I just wanted to mention this to you. And immediately that idea also went inside Kamsa and became highly agitated. And then one more thing I want to tell you, he told Kamsa, in your previous life, you were Kalanemi, a great Asura. And you were killed by Vishnu only. The same Vishnu only killed you. He's coming again to kill you. So immediately Kamsa got even more worried, because he knows that Vishnu has killed him. He got a remembrance of his previous life because of Narada Muni's blessings. And he got highly enraged. And Narada Muni just screwed him up like nothing. He became even more enraged that as soon as Narada Muni left, he started working. He threw Vasudeva and Devaki inside the prison. He killed the first child, which he had decided he will not kill. He finished. And then he said, all the children should be killed. Because Narada Muni dropped a hint saying that, I don't think you should risk any of the children of Vasudeva and Devaki. Anyone could be Vishnu. Don't go by what the eighth child, the Devas said and all that. Don't go by them. Anyone could be Vishnu, he said. Therefore, he started killing all their children. And why did Narada do this? Why did he said kill all the sons of Devaki? It's very amazing. It's very, very amazing. So you'll see parallel to this in our life too. If you take Vasudeva and Devaki to be devotees, in this world, the scene starts advent of Lord Krishna in the Bhagavatam, it's full of problems for Vasudeva and Devaki. Right from the chariot which he is bringing, Kamsa is bringing Devaki. From then onwards, they had problems. Immediately after marriage, advent of Lord Krishna describes problems started. For a devotee, when his Krishna consciousness starts, sometimes he wonders why there are so many problems coming. My parents are against it, my family members are against me doing Krishna consciousness, and my friends in society have rejected me. In this way, they have locked me up in a jail. Just like Devaki and Vasudeva put in the jail, you will also be put in your own jail. Nobody wants to talk to you because you're talking always Krishna consciousness. You're telling them to chant Hare Krishna and you're speaking Krishna's pastimes, and you don't eat in the restaurant anymore. You don't look at all the wonderful movies on YouTube that they forward to you. You are not coming for the regular parties and the drinks and all that stuff they can eat. You're not friendly anymore. You're not sending replies to WhatsApp messages, and you're not doing that. This guy is too much. He's gone out completely off. Let's forget him. So they throw you in isolation. I call that the original lockdown of Vasudeva and Devaki. Vasudeva and Devaki got locked down by Krishna's arrangement, right? We are locked down. But I tell people that no, we are locked down inside another bigger lockdown. The greater lockdown is to get locked down inside this mind, inside this body, inside this material world. That was the Adi lockdown, which we opted for by our own choice. We said, I want lockdown, I don't want to be with Krishna. And we are thrown into the lockdown. That's the material world, right? Krishna bhuliya bhogavancha kare, japatiya maya dhare. Immediately Maya caught you. As soon as you forgot Krishna, you chose lockdown on yourself. And like an idiot, we are moving around, total forgetfulness of ourselves. Who are we? Who is God? What is the reality? And then we are very happy here. We try to be happy here. So this great lockdown has made us foolish. Maya has created a lot of trickery and we are fooled. And inside that, we are physically locked down also now. This lockdown is not enough, an extra punishment, right? You need another lockdown, put you into a separate physical prison also. Stay inside your house, right? This lockdown is happening. Vasudeva and Devaki were locked down. But for devotees, I see the lockdown is not really much of a great disadvantage. They're meeting a lot of people online. They're chanting Hare Krishna, attending many more programs, and they are doing much more preaching, reaching out more. Everything has turned out to the advantage of many devotees. The lockdown is different. But the basic thing I'm saying is that you get isolated from society. From the regular material society, you get isolated. People don't like you. People say, Chacha, you don't want to belong to us. You're not part of our group. You're not part of our group. So Kamsa, he said, definitely you're not part of my group, and put them in the jail. You belong to Krishna's group. Krishna is going to be born within you. So sometimes ISKCON is also locked down like that separately. People wonder, even in the Hindu community, they wonder, you guys are different here. I mean, you guys don't worship all the gods that we worship. And then you guys get up early in the morning and don't drink tea and coffee, and don't go to restaurant, don't watch movie, and you start chanting Hare Krishna. Wow, that and all we can never do. Hats off to you on all those things. And they derive great respect for us. You guys are very good in all this sadhana and paka. You're very organized, the temples are. You're so good that we have to pay respect to you. But why are you not worshipping gods? Why are you worshipping only one God and saying Krishna is the supreme person? Where is it mentioned like that? Hinduism is an open society. Anybody can, like that. So we are again locked down inside. The nature of people who are devotees is that they have to get to understand that you'll constantly get locked down, ostracized, put inside separately, right? That's everybody's experience. Within their own relatives and family members, your own community members, So many of our devotees come and cry to me, Maharaj, we joined the society, got initiated. We have given up all our relatives because they don't talk to us anymore. All our friend circles, everything. We have only devotees and our movement. If we don't get association, if you don't do all these things for us, how can we live? It's actually a reality. It's a reality. So we lock ourselves down into the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Sometimes we lock ourselves down so much that we even don't preach much. That's not good. We should preach and open up others to walk inside. So this is a parallel inside our life too. And problems. We have many, many challenges and problems. Here Vasudeva and Devaki is being challenged by their children getting killed. That's a beautiful parallel given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Jiva Goswami, and all of them. Prabhupada speaks about that. These 6 sons which were killed, they are actually Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. And there's a beautiful parallel drawn onto how you should prepare yourself, because it's mentioned that Kamsa is fear personified, fear of material nature, fear of Maya. And Devaki is Bhakti personified. And Devaki is always afraid of Kamsa. He's coming to kill my child, kill my child. Every year he would kill, every year almost. Waiting for Krishna. Every year she lost a child. Every year there was a loss materially, affection, and everything that she had invested and got the child died. The child died. And violent deaths, right? So the external story is that these are Shatgarbhas. They're all sons of Kalanemi. And the amazing things, Kalanemi's sons, 6 sons they are. The names are also given, I forget them. And they were cursed by Hiranyakashipu, who was their grandfather. The grandfather said that you went and got boons from Brahma, everything, you neglected me, I curse you that you'll be killed by your own father when he appears as Kamsa. So it's amazing that Kamsa was so enthusiastically coming and killing his own sons from previous life. 6 of them he killed. But he was facilitating Devaki's bhakti, Devaki's Krishna consciousness. How? That's very interesting. How did he do that? That's also explained. So preparation, if you want Krishna to appear, then we should have pure bhakti existing. Krishna comes into the atmosphere of bhakti that is mentioned. So Krishna, he appears after all these things are done, all the Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya born out of Devaki's womb and they die. And then Balaram comes, Adi Guru, cleanses up the whole place. Then Krishna comes. So once bhakti is manifested, then Krishna appears, right? So preparing the heart for Janmashtami would also mean we should take these things in parallel. What does that mean? You know, our life today has got a lot of things happening. Many of us are engaged in many, many different types of tasks. Small things. I got to check this WhatsApp messages. I got to go on YouTube and see this particular link of this particular video. I got to, send this email out. I have to talk to so-and-so. So-and-so wants to talk to counsel. There are lots of things that happen. Technology. We indulge in technology and we do a lot of things. We have a lot of width in our life, but we're not able to give depth. Krishna consciousness for ourselves means depth. Everything we read, everything we hear, we actually try to think about it. What does this mean to me in my life? How does this help me in furthering my Krishna consciousness? Depth is what we are at. But material life means a lot of width. If you make your life too wide and too shallow, then Krishna consciousness does not take root. You should make your nice average between the width, a controlled width, and as much as possible, throw in the depth. Our life should have more depth in Krishna consciousness, which means our own personal deep reflections on what we are doing every day, why we are doing what we are reading in Prabhupada's books, why it is said so, what does it mean to me? This is what the association of devotees means. Discussing these things. Discussing these things. Discuss these in depth. It prepares our heart. Siddhanta, understanding from Na kore alasa iha hoite Krishne lage sutrida manasa. Don't refrain from discussing anything that seems to be controversial also in the Bhagavad-gita or the Bhagavad. It may seem to be controversial, but you should discuss it, because by discussing, you will plummet a depth and you'll become more and more convinced about Krishna consciousness. Don't simply cut and paste. Don't do reading only for cutting and pasting. Oh, I've got a Bhakti Riksha to do today evening. I am the speaker. Quickly, let us read something for half an hour. This points I'll say this. I call that persons who read only for the sake of speaking, which means what they read doesn't affect them. I call them asymptomatic preachers. Means they carry the coronavirus, but it doesn't affect them. So they carry the teachings of Prabhupada and they keep shifting it like postman, but they don't allow it to go and take depth inside. You know what I mean? We do that. We do reading and I have to read, so I'm reading. I fall asleep 2-3 times and you read. Right? But if you actually think about, even if you read less, doesn't matter, think about it more. Discuss with somebody about it and take depth into it. Like it's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita very nicely. Ye leela amrita vinay khaya yadi annapane tabe bhaktera durlabha jivana yara ek bindu pane utfulita tanumane hase gaya koraye nartana. It says this leela of Krishna, pastimes of Krishna that's described in the Bhagavad, Chaitanya Charitamrita, everywhere. Amrita vina khaya yadi annapani. If you simply eat ordinary food grains and don't drink this nectar, eat this Krishna conscious nectar, durbala jivana, your life will become very weak spiritually. But are ek bindu pane utfulita tanumane. But if you take one drop, one grain of this and actually consume it and taste it, utfulita tanumane hase gaya koraye nartana, you will feel so excited that you will dance and chant out of excitement of realization, depth. So become affected by the karuna virus of Krishna and become a patient. Get affected. Don't remain asymptomatic. You're not just a carrier of the message. You're also a person who should digest that message. So I call that depth. Depth and width. Getting it into your heart means heart is very deep. The mind is very shallow. The intelligence also is more deep than the mind, but not as deep as the heart. You can analyze things like a jnani and get to understand things also very well. But there's something more that you have to do. It's not that we're able to give a very good class because I have the gift of the gab. I can speak very well. And I have memory so I can remember those shlokas. I have some intelligence so I can connect all these things together. I can put up a very good show. But at heart, I may not have reached the depth. Right? So allowing Krishna conscious experience to reach your heart and create an impression. It requires that you take up devotional service, however it may be, whatever it may be, and grapple with it. Give your heart, mind, body, soul, intelligence, everything to it, and live completely holistically do it. Then when you come out of it, you are rich in Krishna consciousness. Don't settle for any of these layers alone. You see, that was the instruction given. Amogha, the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. I don't want to go into the detail of that pastime, but it's a beautiful pastime. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is inviting Lord Chaitanya to eat at home. He has become from a Mayavadi, he has converted completely to a devotee. He is in ecstasy. He's calling Lord Chaitanya home, and Lord Chaitanya is also very pleased with Sarvabhauma. So he goes to his home. But Sarvabhauma is afraid of his son-in-law, who comes and criticizes all holy men and all these things, people who come to the house. And he's got a very bad tongue, critical tongue. So he says, I should make arrangement for that. He tells his wife, cook nicely, I'll call, and I keep a stick ready. If this guy comes, I'll chase him and send him out. So he gets absorbed in serving Lord Chaitanya. He welcomes him and gives a fantastic array of dishes. And he becomes very absorbed serving him and feeding him, and he loves it so much. He doesn't watch the son-in-law creep inside and say, oh, so much a sannyasi is eating. My gosh, 15 people's meals he's eating together. This is very bad. He says it and he goes away. As soon as he has come and said it, Sarvabhauma regrets it. Oh gosh, and this rascal, I thought he should not come. He came. He takes the stick and chases him. He leaves all the dishes there and chases him and shouts all sorts of galis at him and chases him. And then Lord Chaitanya started laughing at him, what all he's shouting at his son-in-law and going behind him, because he was a very aged man. So he ran behind him, and then he came back feeling very bad. He told Lord Chaitanya, I'm sorry. I called you here, and I called you here to insult you. And he felt very bad. He said, no, he's a small boy. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't take it seriously. He's your son. Don't worry. But Sarvabhauma kept it in his mind. And because of this, what happened? That Amogha, the son-in-law, he caught cholera. And within 3-4 days' time, he was almost so sick he was going to die. So Sarvabhauma's daughter, was also worried. Why? My father is not coming to see me. My husband is so sick. Sarvabhauma and his wife decided, let's not go there, that rascal. Let him die. Let my daughter become a widow. I don't mind. Why did he commit this offense to Lord Chaitanya? He doesn't deserve anything from me. They both decided, forget it. I'm not going. So when Lord Chaitanya heard about the fact that Amogha is sick and Sarvabhauma is not going, he immediately told Govinda, come with me, take my kamandalu. And he went all the way straight to Amogha's house. He placed his lotus hands on Amogha's chest, who was almost dying. And he told Amogha, the heart is a wonderful place. It is the place for Krishna to reside. It is not the place for greed, envy, lust, all these things. Wake up, Amogha, chant Krishna's names. And Amogha opened his eyes lightly, could see Lord Chaitanya, and started mumbling, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gradually, he started chanting more and more and more. He became more and more energetic. And then he got up, he sat down, then he started chanting, then he got up on his cot, then he started dancing. Lord Chaitanya also jumped on the cot, and Amogha and Lord Chaitanya started dancing on the cot. Amazing thing happened. And then Amogha fell at the feet of Lord Chaitanya, grasped his feet and started sobbing and crying. You have saved me by your mercy on me. You have shown me mercy. I am a wretched offender. I committed offense to you. And he started crying. Lord Chaitanya picked him up and embraced him. He said, Amogha, you're a devotee now, right? Please continue to chant. Everything will become all right. Your heart is clear. And he went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. Sarvabhauma Bhatta, by the time, heard that Lord Chaitanya has gone to Amogha's house. As soon as he came, said, why did you go there? That guy is a rascal. He should have died. It's better. Then Lord Chaitanya consoled Sarvabhauma and said, no, he is your son. He is a devotee now. He is wonderful. You must take care of him, right? Don't have this hatred for him. In this way, Lord Chaitanya illustrated how one should keep his heart clean, how we should avoid all these unnecessary things. Get rid of them. Like how Devaki was cleansed completely of all these dirty aspects, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, everything together, cleansed heart. So we should try to take this into consideration, that in the preparation for the appearance of Krishna, all these things happened. So Vasudeva and Devaki got imprisoned, and they went through all the purification necessary. Similarly, we as devotees, we may lock ourselves down into the International Society for Krishna Consciousness with not much connection outside with the rest of the world. I don't do this, I don't do that, I don't do that. Yeah, we lock ourselves down. But that is for purification. There, you should purify yourself. That's a great opportunity to purify yourself of all these different types of this. And at the same time, there are people who would come and they may be even devotees like Narada Muni came and accelerated. Arey, don't leave all the kids alone, kill all of them. So you'll see sometimes devotees take part in these type of things. They come and do something that, irritates you a lot. But you should analyze it and see it. Hey, is this good for my spiritual life? Maybe it's Krishna sending this devotee to tell me, don't do this, or take me away from this type of attachment, right? If you analyze properly, you'll see always all these devotees are not mischief mongers. They are very serious about their spiritual life, but they will come and do something for you because they genuinely feel you should also progress. You're attached to something, or work through in some way, counsel you, or tell you some things which you may not like. But Devaki accepted whatever their lot is, because fully on. So when we are members of the Krishna consciousness movement, under the advice and counsel of senior devotees, Guru and Prabhupada's instructions, we should also be willing to take some difficulty, to take some austerity, because purification means you have to go through some pain. Growth in Krishna consciousness means pain. It means problems, it means criticisms, it means attachments, it means wrenching ourselves from those attachments. It's generally actually pretty difficult. So really speaking, spiritual life is not something that is rosy. Spiritual life is definitely challenging. Just like Vasudeva and Devaki went through problems and problems and problems and problems. But the great thing is, gradually Krishna is going to appear. At the end of those problems, you'll be surprised to know that you have actually purified yourself. The effort you have put through to keep up with Krishna consciousness, to keep up with chanting the holy name nicely, keep up with good association, reading Prabhupada's books, keep up the sadhana, and that effort you constantly need to put. It's always work inside that you have to do. We are in the spiritual gym. As an internal spiritual gym that we have to join, and we have to constantly work there. But in the end, it bears fruit because bhakti grows gradually and Krishna comes and resides in that place, right? So, preparing our heart means, number one, be prepared to face challenges and problems. Actually, devotees don't see problems, they see only challenges. You know, that great president of America, Franklin Roosevelt, he made a fantastic comment. He said that problems are those ugly faces that a person sees when he has lost sight of the goal. He said, if you take your eyes off the goal of Krishna consciousness, pure bhakti, if you take your eyes off that, all sorts of problems start coming and becoming prominent in front of you. They become prominent in front of you, right? So they will be there definitely. But if you become focused in Krishna consciousness, your service and everything, they will come ayaram, gayaram, they will coming and going. That will go on with life. Material life is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. That's one. Number two, be interested in actually unweeding, taking out the impurities from inside. Be focused. and take out kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, identify them and remove them gradually. This is a very important thing we need to do. Number 3, lock yourself. Lock yourself within the association of devotees from ISKCON. Lock yourself within the company provided by Bhakti-Vedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada in his wonderful movement. This is no ordinary movement. This is no ordinary organization. This organization sends people back to Godhead. Just like it was no ordinary prison that Vasudeva and Devaki were in. Vasudeva and Devaki were in a prison where Krishna appeared. That prison has a qualification for Krishna to appear. So it is not just a jail. It's not just a jail. So this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Prabhupada says, Krishna has taken birth in the Krishna consciousness movement, in the womb of the Krishna consciousness movement. He says this in the purport. Very beautiful. So Krishna has taken birth, has appeared in the Krishna consciousness movement of ISKCON. So we can contact Krishna there, right there. So that organization sends people back to Godhead. That is the aim of the organization. Not just to Australia and America on a new job or a new thing. Today, one person came online and said, Maharaj, I'm so happy. I was in Dubai. I lost my job. Now I've come to Bangalore. I've been posted in a new job, new company. I am, is very excited about it. He was saying that. So we may sometimes feel excitement about certain things, materially, security, this, that, everything. We should examine carefully and see how it affects our Krishna consciousness, how it is actually helpful or against our Krishna consciousness, right? So this organization started by Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, which Lord Chaitanya wanted to start, which the Goswami spoke about, Vishwa Vaishnava Rajya Sabha. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did that, and he tried, is actually completed by Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. It is an organization thought of by Krishna, by the Supreme Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it has manifested itself. And if you keep in touch, Krishna will take birth in your heart. Krishna will come and occupy your heart. That will be the one and only Janmashtami you need to celebrate. Once Krishna has appeared in your heart, there are no more Janmashtamis. Nivattante taddhamam paramam mama. In fact, Janmashtami's real significance is we want it to happen. We want Krishna to rise in our heart. That will be the original Janmashtami, the first and the last Janmashtami that you need to celebrate, because you go back to Godhead. So we are all waiting for that final Janmashtami. By constantly following this Janmashtami every year and preparing ourselves, finally we will have the one and only Janmashtami, Krishna appearing in our heart, because it has become purified. We've gone through the Vasudev and Devaki moments. We've gone through the Kamsa moments. We've gone through many things. It's completely, we've been depending on Krishna, and therefore Krishna rewards us by appearing, because of our development of love for him. That will be the last Janmashtami for you. That will be the genuine Janmashtami. That will actually give you the greatest experience of Janmashtami, because Krishna will appear in your heart. Right? So with these words, I like to close here, because the time is going to be 10:30, and tomorrow is Janmashtami also for me. I have to wait. It's 10:30 p.m. here, and there's 5 minutes to 10:30 p.m. So I'll spend 5 minutes with you. If anybody wants to have a comment or a question, I'll be happy to try to reflect on this further. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. 5 minutes if anybody has any comment or a question to make.
Hare Krishna, if you have any questions, you can chat. You can actually type on the chat window or raise your hand.
Okay, I think, oh, right. Somebody, right.
Maharaj, these are all comments.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, these are comments. Lock yourself with the association of devotees. This ISKCON association is not normal. It sends us back to Godhead and Janmashtami. Krishna should rise and appear in your heart. Okay, he summarized it very nicely.
Summarizing.
Again,
Yes.
Okay, Rasamrita has got a question. Rasamrita.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Maharaj, thank you very much. Extremely grateful to you, Maharaj, for this wonderful, very sublime and very instructive class, Maharaj. There are so many points. I'm sure when devotees will thank you, they will cover all the point. But your point about, having the depth and, we are just going on the wet is so amazing, Maharaj. Maharaj, I just have another question, because you mentioned about this wonderful purport where you said that Krishna was born in the womb of Krishna consciousness or ISKCON. We can say that Krishna was born in the womb of ISKCON. Maharaj, and unfortunately, because we are going too wide sometimes and not going too much into deep, I'm just trying to connect the dots. That why in this glorious and wonderful moment, Maharaj, sometimes there are actually frictions, or some devotees don't get along, and there is so much of selfishness actually happens. Just for our proper instruction, Maharaj, I'm asking that Prabhupada actually told that you will please me by how you cooperate. So why there is sometimes meaning we all devotees fail to understand this basic very important formula, that is what is going to please Srila Prabhupada, and meaning how can devotee behave towards this, Maharaj? Thank you.
Yes, very important and practical question you've asked, Rasamrita Prabhu. That we should also understand the reality of it. The reality is, it's not that as soon as we get into Krishna consciousness, we can think that we are devotees. It's not like turning off the switch on and off. Like I have this light here with me, I can turn it off, boom. I can turn it on, boom. Krishna consciousness is not like that. That as soon as you've gained entry, you should think that I am a devotee. You've got association. Adho shraddha, tatasadu sangha, ata bhajana kriya, anartha nivriti. It goes on, and there are landmarks. Stage by stage it happens. So the problem is that the living entity, the conditioned soul, he is by his association, bahunam, janmanam, so many of this. He has developed all sorts of dirty things, habits, all sorts of dirty things in the heart and everything. They will not go away like that unless he makes a solid effort, puts in an effort. So we have to live with people with various levels of Krishna consciousness. Some interested, some given up, some almost getting, some moving up, some. We have a whole heterogeneous group of people at different levels. They're not one homogeneous variety that you can measure their Krishna consciousness. It's so subjective and so deep and so fine, we cannot know who is a devotee and what is the depth of his devotional service. So that's the practicality. So we have to live with all sorts of people. That's the first practical thing you should surrender to. Be ready to take the austerity of all sorts of people, saying all sorts of things to you, doing all sorts of things to you. Yat machitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi. By my prasada, you will overcome all sorts of things. He never said that everything will be smooth, go ahead. He said that there will be a lot of things happening to you, depend on me. So devotees are the ones that we surround ourselves with. In the lockdown, like I said, inside the movement, we always take devotees association. No, we have cut ourselves away from everybody else. So if Maya wants to affect you, she will affect you to the weakest devotee. That's the entry for Maya. How did Maya enter in the beginning of Kali Yuga? Parikshit was such a wonderful ruler. There's no chance, all the holes were plugged. Tried to enter through Parikshit, and Parikshit came and stopped himself, finish you. You go stay where there is meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, gold, da-da-da-da. No other place for you. And none of these things were going on. Kali was not happy. He entered through Brahmins who were advising the king. He found this, all the Brahmins also very strong. So he entered through a child, 5-year-old Brahmana. Because Parikshit was surrounded by all of them. And then he cursed Parikshit. And he regretted it, isn't it? So we surround ourselves with devotees. How will Maya get to us? It'll get to us through the weak devotees. Devotees who are weak, who have less faith, who commit offenses, and they'll be around us. So the best way to do this is to teach all the devotees, is to constantly read with them Prabhupada's books, constantly discuss these things, constantly do Harinam, constantly be doing service together, and tolerate devotees. Because by tolerating them, they will learn and they will understand, you tolerated me, therefore I learned. They will give it back to you in another way. So it's hand in glove. There is no other way. We have to tolerate them. Living with devotees is the greatest austerity, actually. Right? It is very easy to give up tea, coffee, smoking, drinking, eating meat and all that. That's all very easy to do. But when you really come to stay, the real challenge is living with devotees. And we get angry, we get disturbed, all that. Then you can see things coming up inside you also. Right? So then you know why I am also pretty dirty here. And in this way, you have to be sailing in the same boat along with you. Let's help each other. Please. We're all same. No one is greater. You know, just because I am wearing a sannyasi's cloth doesn't mean I'm greater than you. I fold my sleeves, I help you. You help me. Maybe according to the Varnashrama, you have to do certain duties. I do my duties. But in Krishna consciousness, we can always help each other, tolerate each other, be a little patient, be a little tolerant. So all these things are good qualities that we must cultivate. There is no other goal. Then everybody becomes mature together. It is Sankirtan. It is a joint enterprise. Everybody moves up together and goes back to Godhead. It's not that you alone will go back. I am a pure devotee. See, you guys are useless. It doesn't happen like that. It is not Samkirtan. It is Sankirtan. Don't think you leave everybody back here and you alone will run away and do competition like in the material world. Be the first man to reach Krishna. I did it first. No. Lord Chaitanya appreciates it very much. You take everybody with you. Take everybody with you. That means tolerance, patience. You get punched regularly. And then you also understand. You move. Tatte anukampam susamikshamana bunjhana evatmam kratam vipakam tadvag vabubir vidadan namaste jiveta muktipade sadayabak. You become qualified for getting Krishna's mercy. And Krishna knows you are patiently tolerating and serving. Right? That's the practical aspect of it. And that's we must do. There's no other alternative as such. Okay? Right.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Maharaj, one last thing.
Yeah.
Not a question, but our board member and advisor, Sumudra Chaitanya Prabhu, would like to actually, give a vote of thanks before you leave. Yes.
Oh, the past president.
Yes.
Okay, so Varada Gopal Das has become the president. Okay, Hare Krishna, congratulations on this great responsibility of leading
please bless
Balaram
Maharaj.
Desh Yatra.
Please
He has
bless
handed
us,
over,
Maharaj. We can
Sumudra
serve.
has handed over the mantle to you in the whole
Hare
relay race. Now you've taken up the mantle from him. And I think
Hare
his speed is reducing slowly. He's retiring.
Please bless us, Maharaj, so that we
Hare
can
Bol,
serve
Hare
all the
Krishna.
Vaishnavas and all the society and Srila Prabhupada. Please bless
Hare
us.
Krishna's blessings be on you.
And
Free.
your support is always there, and we have experienced that
Yes.
support. And please
I will
continue
do
and
my
help us
best,
more.
whatever I can
Hare.
do. Right? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Henry,
Maharaj, it's very, very nice, wonderful, blissful to be with you again and again. It was very wonderful class today, glories of Advent of Lord Shri Krishna, how the Lord appears, how we should be prepared, especially how the devotees should receive the devotees' challenges, the problems, the devotees, then how we should remove the impurities within us, how we should be locking down with the association of the devotees, and also a very good example that you narrated about Amogh's pastime about Lord Chaitanya and how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was merciful, and also that Krishna, that he should remain in our hearts. So very wonderful, Maharaj, very instructive. We are very grateful and thank you for accepting our invitation, coming at this hour, particularly when tomorrow you will have much more day.
Yes.
So from the core of our hearts, we thank you, Maharaj, and also we beg on this very auspicious occasion that let the Vaishnava's mercy through you be on us for Lord to appear in our hearts. Maharaj, thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Hari Bol.
And, and
Hare
also in your presence, we want to. Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj. And also in your presence, we want to thank His Grace Manibhushan Prabhuji from Kanaya Desh, His Grace Rasamprata Prabhuji from Avatari Desh, and all the other GC states who are attending, and from India also, and our senior devotee Krishna Bhadran Das also attended the class. So we thank all of them, including our Balram Desh devotees. So Maharaj, thank you very much. We look forward to association and hearing from you very soon. Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Good night. Sweet dreams of Krishna. Hari Bol.